Hold on to your safety glasses, folks, because today we're raising the roof. No, literally. Okay, it's a ceiling. It just doesn't sound as cool. We're back working on the worst room in my home, turning it from a real-life junk drawer into what I hope will be my dream cottagecore-inspired pantry laundry room combo, but on a budget. I've already cleared out the space, pulled up the old floors, fixed some drywall, and tore some out. But now we're ready to put Humpty Dumpty back together again.
Wonky donkey. It's the wonky donkey room. Editor, roll the tape. Boop.
Hello there.
Hello there.
I am currently standing in my bathroom, my main floor bathroom, which up until today has been a kind of a powder room slash laundry room, and I hated it. I hate this washroom so much. Well, I mostly hated this washroom because you had to enter into this room to get to this washroom, but soon it's just going to be the bathroom it was meant to be, no laundry attached. As you can see, I've actually already moved my laundry unit up, so it's against this, because this is where it's gonna actually like poke out of, but it's sitting up on this little bulkhead here, and I'm actually gonna keep it because I'm gonna build a wall into it to kind of cut off this section. Do you guys wanna come inside? Come on inside. Okay, so welcome to the bathroom. It's very tiny and there's a lot of weird angles in here, so it's hard to like bring you guys in here. But we've spent a little bit of time in here when I did make over this space. We call it the Band-Aid effect. It did make this bathroom like a bajillion times better and more functional. We actually had a working sink in here for all my paintbrushes. We had, I upcycled this lovely piece and placed it in here, and this has been great. So like this whole bathroom could be very functional. It just kind of sucked that it had to share laundry with it, especially because we only have 2 bathrooms in this house, the upstairs, and then this is the main floor. So if guests come over, like this ends up being the most used bathroom in the house. So it's gonna be so nice when this doesn't have to be a combo laundry room. We just don't want people to see that. So today I need to build a stud framing for a wall that's going to go right here. Essentially it's just gonna block it off, and eventually we'll put up some drywall and close this whole room in, and then it's its own little mini bathroom like it was meant to be. But I need to get the stud framing on. There is a little bit of a bulkhead down here that I'm gonna build the stud wall framing on top of. So the washer and dryer has always sat on this little like bulkhead here. I don't really want to get rid of it. I kind of like that it provides some height. I also just don't feel like having to rebuild this entire floor. So I think what I'm gonna do is remove this piece here, this little corner padding, and I'm gonna build the stud framing right on top, like flush with this piece. And then I'm just gonna bring the drywall all the way down and then strap it into here as the bottom. And then the rest of the wall will be here. We are gonna have to bring some plumbing through the stud wall. So that is something to think about. But I'm gonna build this very easy. I'm just gonna build basically a square frame with 2x4s, and then we're gonna do studs that are 16-inch on center. Easy peasy, not gonna overthink this way too much, but I think. So up here on the ceiling is this kind of lay-in ceiling tile and this metal grid. This actually used to be the same ceiling that was in the other room, but we took that down. We've always left it in here. I think it works to hide this ugly ceiling that's up here that actually matches what's in there. I don't really want to focus on the ceiling in here too much. I'd like to just leave this, so I think I'm actually just gonna buy some more tile and then finish it out to the edge of the stud wall that I'm about to build. So all that to say, there's just always a million things you gotta think about when you start building in walls and taking away things, but I think to start, we're just gonna start building this 2x4 stud wall, and ooh, what is on me?
House of Horrors!
But yeah, I want to start building that 2x4 stud wall, and then we'll kind of just go from there. Let's see how we go, how we do. What did I just say? How we do. Let's go build a wall. Okay friends, we have a wall. She be built. It's not pretty, but it shall do. So let's talk about next steps. Before I even start putting drywall up in there, I need to get rid of the wires that are running through this wall because this 2x4 needs to come out. I also want to drop the wires of where this is to go down because obviously they're running right in front of my washer and dryer right now. So this is gonna have to be secured in lower. So I gotta turn the power off, pull out this plug, disconnect the cords, pull them out, remove this 2x4, and I'm actually going to remove this piece of drywall. There's actually like a line, you can see it, that goes down. So I'm gonna remove this piece of drywall because we're gonna be putting in a sink right here and plumbing is gonna have to go into the wall, and it just makes it a lot easier when there's no drywall there. So there's still so many things to remove, so many things to think about, but the good news is that repairing drywall is a lot easier when you're doing it in square. I feel tired and all I've done is build a wall. What's wrong with me today? Okay, I'm gonna go turn the power off and then we'll get going on all the fun stuff.
Friends, in the same way I did in episode 1, if I'm dealing with electrical, I always just turn off all the power to the room from the breaker because we never want to take chances and electrocute ourselves. So once the power was turned off, I always double check the voltage using a multimeter. If it reads 0, I know I'm good to go. Now removing the 2x4 in front of the laundry was easy peasy, but it felt so good to finally see the opening for the laundry machines. And although this room is still awful, it just felt a little closer to the vision I saw for this space. So like I mentioned, beside the laundry, I want to install a new laundry sink and countertop, which means plumbing is going to be needed. So I'm opening up another small section in the wall to aid in that. The plumbing will then be directed through the 2x4 wall I just built in the washrooms to get hooked up behind the washer and dryers. So it's always feeling like a bit of a puzzle with reno. You know, we need to do this to install that, but we have to wait to do that, so I gotta move on to this. It's a lot of this and that. And patience. A lot of patience. Now my hubs is going to be helping me with the plumbing, so that is going to be on another day. So for now, I'm simply setting us up for success. To end my day, I moved on to the front of the laundry. I wanted the laundry machine to move forward so it would sit flush with the wall, so I needed to build a supported ledge that it could sit on. This is also where the drywall will screw into and a place to run electrical through when we reinstall the plug along this wall.
It is a new day, and today we are doing something I haven't done in a long time, which is strap in. So strap in, friends, because we're going to the ceiling. We're gonna strap the ceiling today so that we never have to look at this again, which is like pretty exciting. The ceiling in general is a little bit wonky. I mean, there was the paneling above it in the past, so this was just obviously never seen. And then when I created my studio originally, I painted half of it so that at least the studio part would be whiter than the other side. So there's like this nice white strip down the front. But yeah, all things to say, I don't want this as a ceiling. I think we can make this room look really nice and clean. And I think with the new drywall, it's gonna just completely elevate the space. Well, that along with the flooring. But what I need to do first is, in theory, I could simply just strap drywall right to this, but I think it's gonna be an easier time if we put strapping first. So what I bought was this 1x3 jointed pine, and we're just going to strap this across. So our joists are running this way, so I'm gonna go the opposite way, because you always wanna work like kind of in a crisscross pattern. So we're gonna strap right across, right onto it. And that way, all these holes and all these crummy little things here, they don't even need to be fixed really. We're just gonna cover right on top of it. Do need to take the lighting down. I'm gonna turn off the electrical just in case, because I don't really know what's above there. And then other than that, we'll just get going. I think it's gonna be a fun time. Who's excited? I'm so excited, I can't wait. The dog didn't even flinch. Shocking. I call that shop dog problems. Trained him to not care about loud noises. Time to put the sexy belt on. I hate wearing this thing so much. I always just feel kind of silly, like, because I'm not actually putting tools in it, I just want to put screws in it so that I can grab them easy. But I just feel silly. So I have to measure, because these are each 8 feet long, but I obviously can't do a full 8 foot across the ceiling, but I need the ends to line up on a place where I can screw. So I'm gonna have to cut each piece essentially to end on a stud. So that's why we gotta figure out what the middle of this stud is. So we're looking at 7 foot 4 inches. So we'll cut our first piece to that length, and then we'll cut the second piece to whatever it is to the end of the wall there. Spacer with a Saturn. Now, here's the rules. See this yellow? That means no bueno. So we mark our line, and then we use something called a square to make it square. Draw your line on that, because you've butted this up to here. Yeah, so now you know your line to cut. So one thing to be aware is, which side do you want to keep? So if you want to keep this side, right, you want to be cutting on this side of the line.
Right.
Because you're going to take out 1/8 of an inch. You just want to give it some pressure so it's nice and tight on the back, and then lift up a little bit. Turn it. Now it has a bit of kickback, so just turn it on. So
Fine.
now leave your hands off there, and then you go.
And then you can grab it.
Just don't like grab it and then.
Cool.
Okay, so now we get to do it on the good piece. Friends, I don't know what the heck happened today, but that literally took us all afternoon. I think we started at noon and we went right up to 4:30. Like this was an all half day adventure. What is so crazy, like I knew that the ceiling was all wavy, but like it was pretty intense. And so like some sections I had to compensate for that and like use the screw as my guide. It's kind of wild. It looks really wonky right now, but once the drywall goes into this, it's all gonna look just fine. Like even my eyes can't adjust to seeing the straightness. Like you can tell when you're screwing it in what's straight, but it's so hard when you're looking at it, you start to go cross-eyed. Like it just looks like it's still wonky, but that's because we're seeing the ceiling still. So I think once we get the drywall on, it's gonna look okay. Tonight, I'm thinking I might go add some shims in between the sections that I really had to compensate a lot. Like you can see on one of these here, I really had to compensate down so that it would sit like level wild. So yeah, I think I'm gonna actually add some shims. I don't know. The screw seems to be doing a lot. Like it seems to be strong because I was using like a 3.5-inch screw, but I don't know. I'm gonna get a second opinion and then see if I should add some spacers in or not. So tomorrow we can finally get the drywall up, and we got a fancy device that's gonna help us put drywall on the ceiling. I can't wait to show you guys. I've never used it before, so I'm terrified, but also very excited to use something new. So anyways, we're gonna get this room cleaned up, and we'll see how tomorrow goes. Happy drywalling. Okay, good morning. So we got a big day ahead of us. Today we are going to be installing drywall on the ceiling, which I've never done this before, and I'm kind of nervous, but I'm also kind of excited. So in order for Vanessa and I, because I was kind of worried, I was like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to do it, the two of us. And then I learned that there's something called a drywall hoist, that it's like this machine and you crank it and you put your sheet on it and it basically lifts it all the way to the ceiling so that you can properly secure a drywall sheet to your ceiling without using any muscles. And I'm like, hallelujah. By the end of today, we're gonna have brand new ceilings and we never have to look at this or like any of this crummy stuff ever again, and I'm truly just so excited. And I'm really excited to try something new. I think this is gonna be really good. All that to say, I just cleared out this room. We're gonna bring in the hoist, and then we're gonna get the drywall in, and it's gonna be a good day. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited to learn some cool drywall hoisting, because I've never used it before and I gotta teach myself how to use it, so that should be fun. Wish us luck. You ready to hoist a hoist? Let me help. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a good time. Hell yeah. Well, this guy looks like a reputable. He's got a mustache. Okay, so where's this part? Wait, we can do this. All right. Wait, maybe we need to look up how to put together drywall
Hoist? Is this the extender?
Hi, everyone.
It's like he lifts it up. Okay, wheels facing out. We're smart, independent women. Sort of independent women.
Sort of smart.
Sort of smart. Sort of smart. Sort of independent women.
Okay.
So we got this. Okay. Oh! Got it! I got it! Slide it over the top. That doesn't feel very
Stable?
stable. This will let it go. Back
What
and
an
forth.
awful noise.
Okay, there.
We got this.
Okay, bud, we're gonna do it here.
There we go.
Oh, bud, just gotta use some muscles.
You just gotta use those muscles,
Oh. Wow.
Wow.
That doesn't fully feel
baby. Right?
good. Maybe this is how you load it and then you turn it down. Do you have to flip that up? Maybe that's what keeps it. Oh. Okay,
That makes
bud.
sense.
And then we hold this and then we hoist her up.
Oh God, you have W.
Okay, so we finally figured it out. It's a bit of a silly thing, but it did take a little bit of grunt to be able to work it, but we figured it out. Okay, so before we get started, I want to install 2 more of these into the ceiling in the section where my 8-foot drywall is gonna hit, so that we have a lot of material to be able to screw into. Just an insurance. I actually measured it that it'll be fine on this side, but not on this side, so I'm just gonna go all the way across just in case. Good fun. Love a wobbly, wonky room, but you just gotta work with it and go with the flow. So let's get this installed and then we can try out this new drywall hoist. It's very fun.
Wonky donkey.
It's the wonky donkey room. It's a wonky donkey. Are you a wonky donkey? Lift it onto the hoist. Okay, so now we can lay it flat.
Okay. That was terrifying.
A little. Okay, so that was very scary, but also exciting, but like mostly scary. But that's one down, 7 more sheets to go. This really makes you respect drywallers. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep, so after the first sheet of drywall went up, I was feeling totally confident that we had this. But that's when we learned just how out of square this room really was, and we were struggling to get the second sheet lined up. We couldn't tell if it was the hoist or if it was the walls, so we did end up cutting the sheet in half so that we could lift it ourselves just to figure this out. It meant I would have to tape more, but I had to know, and of course, it wasn't the hoist, it was most definitely the wonky room. It is all trial and error and patching in this room. A lot of patching. So we proceeded with that third piece, which needed the ceiling light to be accounted for. But, you know, after 2 pieces, I'm basically a pro. So ain't nothing stopping me.
Okay, so this is 25.5 here.
Yeah, we got that.
Somewhere in the middle, we are 23 3/4. So we just have to make sure that the middle is kind of, we start at 25.5 and we get down to 22 3/4.
The last piece was a bit tricky due to the fact that this room was not square. So once again, I was burdened with trapezoids, but you know what? Luckily your girls had a run-in with trapezoids in the last while, so I was ready for this boss round. Bring it on. And let me tell you, flawless execution, baby.
I would hire you to do my drywall in a snappy jiff.
Was our execution perfect? No. Would I hire me to drywall a ceiling? I mean, maybe. I mean, I'm pretty cheap. But moving on to the second half of the ceiling felt pretty victorious. And at this point in the day, yeah, we were getting in the sillies for sure. I feel defeated so much. I don't wanna do drywall no more. I don't wanna do drywall no more. It's not time, oh yeah. You can't make me do it anymore. Look out, Celine. There's another Canadian jewel on the horizon. Yeah, I get silly. But all jokes aside, we actually weren't doing a terrible job, all things considered. You know, I was super proud of us. Honestly, I was so scared to do this day. I didn't know if I had the skill set to drywall a ceiling. I've done small walls, sure, but nothing on this scale. And I'm sure a professional would have made all these sheets line up nicely and squared each sheet out, but this will get us the same result. I just might have to do a little more mudding and sanding, which, you know what, I'm willing to do to save me a dime.
Who invented drywall? Why is this a thing? Why is it like this? Who said this is exactly how we should make our walls?
Well, we powered through the second side, and the next thing that we knew, we only had 1 sheet left to go.
Oh my gosh, we are so close to finishing this ceiling. We have but 1 piece left to do, and then it's just patching, which that's easy peasy stuff, but I think my shoulders are gonna hurt tomorrow. We did it! Woo! Well, high five to us. That was a lot of work. That was like one of the hardest things I've ever done in the home reno game.
Really?
Yeah, I
Wow.
think so. No, but you know what though? We saved so much money doing it ourselves, for starters. I mean, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to look like professional grade person went and put a thing up, but like
Right.
it's going to look so much better than what it was. It's definitely going to require some finessing. That's for sure.
mudding.
It's going to need some mudding.
We're gonna need to mud it.
Yeah, it's going to need some mudding. But and some taping, but that's all right.
So the next couple days were spent taping and mudding. You know, any spots where the drywall lined up together, that was taped. I actually didn't realize that the tape I bought had a sticky side to it. I clearly bought the bougie stuff for once. Never done that before. So I started adding a little bit of mud on the seam and then I would stick it on, but then that's when I realized I don't need to do that because it's sticky. So don't worry, friends. I did get there eventually. And then after I realized that, the taping went super quick. You know, it's just really exciting to see all the seams and screw holes filled in with drywall compound. It actually feels like it's starting to look like a real ceiling for once. Now, for all the joints where the walls meet the drywall, I used an 8-foot paper faced corner bead. It's got a little 90-degree metal structure in the middle to hold shape. I've used this before. I like it. It's easy to work with. I just added a little compound on the joint, then used my trowel and drywall compound to make it look pretty. Honestly, I kind of feel like there are a million ways to do this. Some use a metal corner bead, some use flexible paper corner beads, and I feel like professionals all have a million ways that they would probably say to do this better, you know, and use a corner trowel, which is specifically made for doing such a thing, which I have tried before and I'm just awful with it. So I'm going the longer route, which is just me using a trowel. I know I can get success through this because I'm not an expert, but regardless, it's going to look 1 bajillion times better. I just know it. I just gotta sand and patch a lot. The prices we pay to do it ourselves. I'm learning a lot though. I feel like I'm getting better and better every time I do drywall, and I remind myself how much I hate doing drywall, but add one more room and I swear I'm gonna go pro. Well, friends, that was quite the adventure, let me tell you. I am still not done with the mudding and sanding. I think I actually still have one more layer to go. I gotta sand again, and then it's just like a couple touch-ups. So hopefully by the next episode, I will be ready to start painting. So stay tuned. Next time we're in here, we're gonna be fixing the crooked floor, and it's gonna be a wild adventure, I'm sure. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe if you're not already subscribed, because we got more mud room, laundry room, utility space mashup coming your way. Sending a big thank you to my Patreon crew, my DIY family. I don't know where I would be without you guys. I love you so much. Thank you for your continued support behind the scenes. And if you guys are looking for a place to support you through your DIY projects, then my Patreon is definitely the place for you. Plus, if you love my content but you want it early and ad-free, well then sign up is in the description box. I need to go sit down. I mean, that back corner, look how much better that looks. That could have looked worse. I mean, I know it doesn't look good right now, but it's gonna look good. Once it's all painted in, that is gonna be the best that wall has ever looked. And that's huge. So I'm calling that improvement. So cross fingers for me, guys, while I finish the rest of the mudding. And I will see you guys next week. Stay positive, stay creative, and keep on DIYing. Bye-bye.